ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate this arrangement by the TDC. I'm a good friend of TDC. TDC is a good friend as well. I wanted to pay back for what TDC have done for me as an SME in Hong Kong for the last probably 15 years in Hong Kong. So let's go a little bit from the Gulf side, take a boat from the UAE, from the GCC countries to the north side, and then travel to Iran. It's just probably by ship could be within 2 hours to 3 hours you can reach one of the destination in Iran, which is on the south side. We have the largest port called Bandar Abbas, or Shahid Raja'i is one of the largest ports, which they do most of the volume of the import shipment or export from Iran to the other part of the world. My presentation actually going to cover some of the things that I'm going to go through it very quickly. My personal biography, Iran information, risk and opportunities in Iran, how Iranian sees Hong Kong, or Hong Kong versus China, and then I'm going through some case studies which is based on what we have done for some of the companies which they do business from Iran with Hong Kong or from Hong Kong with Iran. And then we have a photo section which is actually my missions to Iran in the last couple of years. And then we have some introduction of our company, what services we provide. Okay. Myself, I've been in Hong Kong since 1997, just before handover. I always tell a friend that my first visa was issued by the British. Then I came to Hong Kong in May 1997, and I never left because Hong Kong was offering so much at the time. And then I see this is the best place to do business, and I think to do business with Middle East, my home country. And then I studied in one of the universities in Canada where I got my MBA, and I become a senior partner of this company actually since 2004. And the objective of this company was basically helping a lot of businesses, either in Hong Kong who want to enter the Middle East market, including Iran, or oppositely from Iran to Hong Kong. I'm also Vice Chairman of the Asia-Africa Committee of the Hong Kong General Chamber of Commerce. We're celebrating this year our 150 years anniversary. Also co-opted member of Equal Opportunity Commission in Hong Kong. Okay, as I said, Iran is located almost in the center of the Middle East. We believe it's the center of the world because if you look at the ancient history of Iran, we had one of the largest empire back 2,500 years ago, plus 2,500 plus years ago, which was Academia dynasty. And I think if you're familiar with the Iran history, we had this Zoroastrian who at that time praying to fire, and I think we believe they were center of the world at that time, and I think it is in some extent. If you look at the map, you will see we are neighboring countries from the previous Soviet Union countries like Armenia, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan in the north. We have in the northwest we have Turkey, we have Iraq, and then down there we have Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and of course in the south side, in the Persian Gulf side, we have UAE and the GCC countries, which Stephen talked in detail about those opportunities there. And also in the east side, we have Afghanistan and Pakistan. So our situation in terms of geopolitical situation is very unique from the north to the west, from north to the south, and then from the west to the east, connecting probably Europe to Asia, as well as the CIS to the African continent. The capital, I think everybody knows all this information, but I'm going to go through it very quickly. The capital, Tehran. I explained that we are connecting Europe to Asia. We have 4 seasons, and then our 5 major cities, as Stephen also said about one of the major cities is Mashhad. I mentioned Tehran is a capital, Mashhad Isfahan, which is actually the place that is my birthplace. And then we have Tabriz and Shiraz. Roughly around, as Stephen said, about 80 million. This is the statistics in 2011, 77 million people. The median age is 25. The main language is Persian, and then we have Kurdish speaking, Arabic, Baluchi, Turkmen, and I didn't mention it here, some Azeri, because from the northwest state called Azerbaijan, many people speak Azeri, also widely spoken. The currency is riyals. We have diverse ethnicity with a different background and a mix of ancient pre-Islamic culture and Islamic culture. I also want to tell that we have, I think the best season to go to Iran, and in terms of temperature and the wetness, is I think around April, which is actually a new year, is a Nowruz. I highly recommend to go there and see the beautiful climate at that time. Back to the currency. This is actually, I got it in the red text. You will see this is the latest exchange rate, which I got it from a website. I think it's a very common use in Iran. I think you can use it on your daily basis business, called mesqal.com. Yesterday, we have actually two rates, which is called a double rate. One is the government rate or bank rate, which is only given to those companies who have the license for import, or they have manufacturing license, then they can use that rates to use for import. And then the US dollar rate for the government was 1087, which actually I interpret to Toman. Actually, the currency officially is Riyal, but if you remove 10 from the Riyal, it's interpreted to Toman, and then it's commonly used, although the official calculation and the account of the government is in Riyal, but I think mostly in the market they use Toman instead of Riyal. Then the exchange rate in the market, which was actually traded yesterday, was 1,340. You see a huge difference, about 200 something Toman different between the government rate and the market. The time difference between Hong Kong and Iran is depends on the season. We have a summer time, which is 3.5 hours. Iran is behind, and in the winter, which is now, it's 4.5 hours. I think now 11:30 here. If you want to calculate it, 11:30 minus 4:30, you can say 11 minus 4, 7, 6. 11:30. My calculation is like somebody. 11 minus 4, this is 7, 6:30, around 6 o'clock in the morning. Then this is this is what I want to emphasize on this, because when you wake up in the morning, then you go to the lunchtime. I think this is the best time the Iranians start to call you. Right? This is very common when I'm going to Hong Kong, let's say restaurant in the lunchtime around 1 o'clock, the call started to receive. So if you receive a call from Iran at that time, you make sure you answer it, because they're fresh and they're ready to do business. And in terms of holiday, I think we have a lot of Islamic events, which is the date is not fixed, because it is following a kind of Islamic calendar. And then we have also the national holidays, which is a Persian calendar, which mainly is Nowruz, which is a new year, and it's starting every year on 21st of March. Okay. Come to the risk and opportunities for SME. I just mostly put it as an experience kinds of doing business with Iran, rather than more analytical data in the sources available. Based on what I have experienced, the trade with Iran, there is a strong demand for garments, electronic gadgets, mobile phone, tablet, PC, personal computer, and home appliances, cable wire, building material, and toys. But I think it's really a great opportunity for SMEs to develop products which fit the market. In terms of manufacturing, I see a lot of potential. There's a very, very attractive manufacturing opportunity in Iran, which is in automotive industry, which I think the reason is we are, in terms of the number of cars producing in the world, we are number 8 in the world. There are two major players and manufacturers producing a lot of cars, which one is the kinds of Korean technology, and another one is a French technology or French kinds of know-how, which is Puget, and then the Korean one I think is a Kia or Kia Motors. So we depend a lot on the importation of the spare parts for both OEM and the aftermarket. So if somebody have in mind to do some manufacturing in Iran, even in small scale, I think the automotive is one of the areas that they have to look into it. And when it comes to services, I think I feel in terms of the inbound tourists, I think Iran identified about 6,000 tourists or what do you call it, tourist attraction sites, which out of this 6,000 which approved and got a qualification, I think about 2,000 of them got their feasibility study done, and I think about 900 of them, they got the budget, or they got their basically partner, or they're looking for some sort of investment either from the government or from partners overseas to become a site or attractive site for the tourists. And I think it's a huge potential. I think the number of the tourists keep growing, especially China, and the Chinese tourists I think could be a great area that the Iranians should look at it. And I think Hong Kong maybe play a role to organize, because we got a lot of experience with mainlanders in Hong Kong. We should take advantage of this opportunity to organize tours to Iran via Hong Kong or even directly. This is in terms of services. In terms of risk, as I mentioned, the currency. I think local currency in the last probably 2 or 3 months have been depreciating. Actually, government tried to kinds of create a unified rate, not to make a double rate or government rate and a private or free market rate. But I think they couldn't really come up with a solution, and these deviations exist, and it's become even more larger. It means the difference between the rate become even larger. And I think depreciation of the currency, of course, is create opportunity for exporters, and of course less opportunity for importers. And we're hoping that depreciation or in kinds of policy that by the banks create kinds of stability for the currency, to not to damage of course the opportunities for the importers. And then the payments to buy the goods or import the goods is mostly at this moment due to problem of the sanction, and the bank sanction is come via either UAE or Turkey, and I also seen the flow of the money from Malaysia. Then we have why I put it at a risk. Basically, of course, it's delayed the transaction and then the shipment of the goods. By the time somebody placed the order and then they have to find a way to send the money to, let's say, a Hong Kong company, it takes longer and it causes some delay and uncertainty. Sometimes it happens that the seller cannot even receive the money, and then because somewhere the money couldn't go through. So this is, I put it at a risk. And then we have this custom standard and custom tariffs and the standard requirements, because Iran already have the kinds of strict policy on the quality of the goods, and now it happens that Chinese goods, especially Chinese exported goods, some of them are going through a lot of checking by the standard organization in Iran, and then sometimes occasionally get rejected. So my suggestion for the exporter is that to look at the standards criteria in Iran before they ship the goods, and of course talking to the partners what quality they require, not to make any problem for them. And in terms of intellectual, I think we have some issues with intellectual. So if you're developing your brand, I think you have to do something to protect your brands in the market by registration in a local market. I think you can register your brand locally, or you can at least to the closest place, which now Stephen said in Dubai, register it to get some protection on your brand. So I put it at the risk. Okay. Then we have how Iranians sees Hong Kong. I think Hong Kong got a very good reputation because although it's a part of China, but we believe that Hong Kong offer better quality. And then the reputation has been there for a long time, and I think the reputation even getting better. So Hong Kong brand and Hong Kong companies always are preferable for the Iranian traders. If they want to do business with a Hong Kong company versus a Chinese, I think if a Hong Kong company in terms of pricing is competitive, and then of course offer similar product, they go with the Hong Kong companies because they know that they will get the right goods at the right time and efficient. So and as Stephen also said, the Hong Kong brand like Giordano and Bossini are already present in Iran. They're doing quite a good job, probably more than 5 years now. And then also Hong Kong is also considered as a good quality, consistent quality, because the business people or entrepreneurs in Iran, they looking for a long-term relationship. I think if they do business with the Hong Kong company and they're satisfied, they can be rest assured that they're going to get the same quality product, which versus in China, sometimes maybe the first batch of product is good, but the second batch is not follow the same batch. So the consistency of the quality is important, and I think Hong Kong that have reputation. On-time shipment with quality packing, honoring the contract and the terms agreed, because they also we come across some problem with some Chinese company again, then because of probably the legal system and then lack of enforcement of some of the terms on the contract, Hong Kong is always again preferable because they will be rest assured that the agreement that they made with the supplier will be honored item by item. And Hong Kong again, as an intellectual property protection and trade dispute platform, could be, why I say IP in Hong Kong, because there are some companies in Iran, they want to have a joint development of the brand. Let's say you are a Hong Kong company, you want to develop a brand for Middle East, they can register it in Hong Kong, that they will be assured that this will be protected under the intellectual property rights in Hong Kong. And the trade dispute platform, we came across a lot of dispute with the Chinese company. We know that Hong Kong becoming like an international arbitration center, and I'm hoping that a lot of companies which they come across problem with the supplier, let's say in China, they can use Hong Kong for settling their dispute. I got some cases. I'm running out of time. Okay. The first case studies that I have is actually clients of ours, which these companies established their own presence in Hong Kong. They actually they are Iranian company who have established their presence here, but they through the local partners they import worth of $50 million of this pistachio. They call it Hoi Sam Go, right? In Cantonese, Hoi Sam Go. So then they re-exported to China. If you look at the census and custom information, you will see in 2010 about $400 million worth of pistachio is re-exported from Hong Kong to China. Basically, Hong Kong is a gateway of exporting the high quality nuts to China. And then most these companies normally either a middleman or a roaster and the packers. So they ship it out to China, and then they process it, they repack it, and then distribute it in the local market. And I'm sure get a good margin. So the terms normally they negotiate if they build a trust, because traditionally Iranian looking for a long-term relationship, and if they build a trust, the terms is very relaxed. Normally the buyer in Hong Kong pay 10% to the sellers, and then when the shipment arrive in Hong Kong, the balance paid on exchange of bill of lading and the shipping document. And nowadays I came to see that the most of the payment settlement is either US dollar or RMB. For example, I have seen and witnessed some of the sellers of the statue. They receive their RMB in Hong Kong, and we know Hong Kong is one of the offshore center for RMB. And I think Iranian companies, they love to receive the RMB because they know some potential for appreciation of the RMB in the long term. And of course in Hong Kong dollar. And Hong Kong really is a gateway or a bridge to China to export their high quality pistachio. This company not only do the pistachio, also doing this red color herbs. We call it saffron. This is very high quality, very expensive herbs, which quite expensive, and I'm sure it's using in a high luxury hotels and restaurants, or maybe used for some special delicacies in China. We have a case studies, which is a Hong Kong company who exports the automotive parts to Iran. This is exporting volume of this company is about 5 million per year, and then they normally ship the goods directly from China because it's more economical to ship it from China. But Hong Kong company will basically play a role in terms of quality assurance inspection, because again, as I compare the quality consistency between Hong Kong and China, the Iranian prefer a Hong Kong company conduct the inspection and assuring the quality of the goods, and then they will ship it directly from China. And then the payment also settled in Hong Kong because of some restriction on the currency in China. So Hong Kong again play a very important role. And the trade term between the companies is normally 30% down payment to the supplier, and then the balance before shipment. Is basically TT is a cash business. And then if business grow and the relationship and the trust build, normally some companies offer 60% open account or a 1-month credit, 60% of the value of each invoice, which is also relatively good things to do with the Iranian buyers. Again, payment settlement is in euro, US dollar, or RMB, and Hong Kong again we could play a role as a facilitator. Other case studies, we have a tour company, a tour operator, who bring professional travelers, business travelers to Hong Kong. They have a record of 3,500 people per year, and then they're targeting 10,000 people in 2012. This company working with tour operators in Iran. And then those tour operators basically targeting the business travelers, because for Hong Kong, travelers from Iran need to get a visa, and I think the best way to get a visa is a business visa. And then also the business traveler are high spending, which they combine both business and the leisure trip. Normally when they come here, they also want to pay a visit to Macau. So and now I know a lot of companies, when there's a show in Hong Kong, they make a tour and make a package for them, which they can pay a visit to the show, enjoy the exhibition, stay 1 or 2 days touring around Hong Kong, and then visit to Macau. It's like a package for 10 days. And I think we witness average spending, except the hotel and the tickets, is about $3,000 US, between $2,000 to $3,000 US averagely these travelers spend. And according to our experience, most of the travelers, they want to come back because when they go back, they want a visa for themselves and a visa for relative and friends. So that's why we're expecting the number will grow in next year. So if some SME wants to make a relationship with those tour operators, I think there are lots of potential. There are lots of companies who are looking for partners in this part of the world. Some of my trade mission in the past. This is my trade mission. I went with the TDC in 2008. The picture on the right is actually the ambassador of China to Iran at that time. And then at that time we had the regional director of the TDC, who's now Stephen represents. And then we had our good friend Ralph Cho on the top page. We had this business matching. We had seminars. We got this is a business matching, which is Hong Kong companies showing their products. You know, they have home appliances, bags, and also services. This is me. I'm actually trying to sell some services. And then the other picture on the down in the right side is actually a Persian carpet. Actually, we organized to send them to the Persian carpet because we have this Persian carpet is we look at it as an investment. It's traditional piece of Persian carpet because it's a handmade, it's a very high value, and depends on the material they use. It can last forever. So many people buy pieces of Persian carpet and keep it, and there would be a huge appreciation. Recently, I know that, for example, wool and silk, the appreciation was 3 times. So if you had some carpet at home, you could triple your investment. So this is the facilities we visited in the south of Iran, which is actually we are sharing the South Pars gas fields, which, you know, the largest gas field in the world is in the Persian Gulf, and we're sharing this one with Qatar. We believe we are the second largest gas reserve in the world. This is a 24-phase project, which I think 10 of them only commenced. And then, of course, this was a visit to attract investment from Hong Kong or China to invest in this project. And this is, of course, some traditional music from Azerbaijan, the right-hand side, down the right-hand side. And, of course, we have the flag of Hong Kong. We're proud of Hong Kong. This is my delegation that I organized to send to Iran on December last year. This is a visit from the Bandar Abbas, which is Shahid Raja'i port, and we met the director of the Inland Revenue Department for the entire state, and also we met the picture in the left hand down in the bottom left hand side is actually a shop. It's a retail shop in the Kish Island, which is by ferry about 20 minutes from Bandar Abbas to the south. So if you go, there's an island called, Kesh Island, not Kish, Kesh Island, which the Chinese from, I don't know from which states, who opened a shop, a retail shop in the Kesh Island. And I think he created about 100 jobs, and he bringing all the Chinese low-cost goods to his retail shop. We had a chat with him, and he was happy about what he did, and he said that this trend is continued. There are lots of mainland Chinese company open a retail shop in the Kesh Island because free zone offer better incentive to the investor. And this is again the same delegation. We went to different seminars and conferences. One was the tourism investment in the south, which we could go to the island of Kish and island of Kesh, all free zone. I put this picture because we had this Chinese restaurant in Tehran. If you see at the bottom in the left-hand side, we have only few Chinese restaurants, which my Chinese friend not happy about the quality of the food. They said this is not Chinese food because this is a Chinese food made by Iranian chef. So some of them were very aggressive. They say we have to bring a Chinese chef and a Chinese material to make a Chinese food in Tehran. And I think a huge potential, because we have probably over 100,000 Chinese living in Tehran. But what happened, if you don't have a good Chinese food, then become like us, desperate. We go to supermarket and buy stuff and make a Chinese food at home. This is my Chinese friend. When we came from in the bottom right-hand side, they made a Chinese food at home and then we share it. And so we see a business potential for restaurant, a Chinese restaurant in Tehran. So the last slide is the company. Our company is business of Basio Consultant and Services Limited. Our services in the corporate services, secretarial services, and company formation. We mostly specialize in the customer from the Middle East. We also have visa services, including business visit visa to Iran and Hong Kong, and business advisory services for both Iranian and Hong Kong traders. This is our website, and thank you very much.